Ever wondered why some people drain you emotionally and mentally? It's not always about what's happening in your life. Sometimes it's about who's in it. These individuals, often referred to as toxic people, can significantly impact our mental well-being and overall life quality. They can seem charming and engaging at first, but over time their true colors shine through, often leaving us feeling drained, belittled, or constantly on edge. Understanding and being able to identify toxic people is an essential skill in maintaining our mental health. It's about learning to recognize the signs such as consistent negativity, lack of empathy, and a constant need for control. But it's not just about identification. It's also about learning how to effectively handle and deal with these individuals to minimize their impact on our lives. It is crucial to recognize these individuals around us, and today we'll learn how. Identifying a toxic person isn't always easy. They could be hiding in plain sight. However, there are certain traits that can make them stand out if you know what to look for. One of the most common traits is constant negativity. This is a person who always seems to be looking at the world through a dark lens, finding fault in everything and everyone. They may complain incessantly, spread gossip and rumors, or always seem to be in a bad mood. This constant negativity can be draining for those around them, and it's a hallmark of a toxic person. Next, we have manipulation. Toxic people often use manipulation to control those around them. They may use guilt, fear, or even affection to get what they want. It's a way of exerting power and control, and it can be very damaging to the person on the receiving end. Another key trait is a lack of empathy. Toxic people often have a hard time understanding or caring about the feelings of others. They may dismiss others' emotions, make light of serious situations, or fail to show compassion when it's needed. This lack of empathy can make them seem cold, uncaring, or even cruel. Finally, there's constant criticism. A toxic person may have a tendency to criticize others constantly, whether it's about their appearance, their ideas, or their actions. This criticism is often unconstructive and serves only to tear the other person down. Now, it's important to note that these traits can vary from person to person. Not every toxic person will exhibit all of these traits, and some may exhibit others that aren't listed here. It's also worth noting that everyone can exhibit these traits from time to time. It's when these behaviors become a pattern that they become a problem. Remember, identifying these traits is the first step towards dealing with toxic individuals. Once you're aware of these signs, you can start to protect yourself and establish boundaries. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness, and recognizing toxicity is a crucial part of that. Toxic people can have a profound impact on our emotional and mental well-being. Envision yourself as a boat sailing in the open sea. A toxic person is like a storm, disturbing the calm waters, causing you to rock and sway, and if not careful, potentially capsize. The storm doesn't ask for permission, it just arrives, much like the toxic individuals in our lives, bringing with them an array of negative emotions and energy. Often this storm comes in the form of increased stress. You may find yourself on edge, constantly worrying and feeling the pressure of their demands or criticisms. This is not a one-time occurrence. It's a relentless cycle that can wear you down over time, leaving you emotionally drained. But stress is not the only fallout. The toxic person's storm also chips away at your self-esteem and self-worth. Their negative comments, their constant need to belittle or make you feel less than, can make you doubt your worth and abilities. Over time, this can lead to a decrease in confidence, making you question your value and place in the world. And then, there's the potential for more serious mental health issues. The continued exposure to such negativity can lead to anxiety and depression. You may feel a sense of dread when interacting with the toxic individual, or even when just thinking about them. This constant state of worry and sadness is not only damaging to your mental health, but can also impact your physical health. It's important to remember that this storm is not of your making. You are not responsible for the behavior of the toxic individual. Their actions and words are a reflection of them, not you. But while you can't control the storm, you can learn to navigate it. Understanding the impact of toxic people on our lives is the first step towards protecting ourselves. It helps us identify the signs of toxicity and gives us the insight to make the necessary changes. This could mean setting boundaries, seeking professional help, or in some cases, cutting ties completely. Recognizing the signs and impact of toxicity can help us make the necessary changes to protect our well-being. Now that we've identified toxic people and their impact, how do we deal with them? Firstly, it's crucial to establish boundaries. You must define what's acceptable behavior towards you. It's like setting up an invisible fence around your emotional garden. Any behavior that disrespects or disrupts your peace should be considered off-limits. Assertively communicate these limits when necessary. Remember, it's not about being rude or aggressive, but about standing up for your well-being. Secondly, avoid unnecessary interaction with toxic individuals when possible. If you find yourself in a situation where you're forced to interact with them, keep conversations superficial and short. Do not engage in any form of negative talk, gossip, or conflict. This will help you to maintain your peace and avoid being pulled into their toxic vortex. Now let's talk about support. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who uplift and understand you. They can provide a buffer, helping you to cope with the stress that toxic individuals may cause. Don't hesitate to reach out to them when you're feeling low. A supportive network can be your safe haven in a sea of toxicity. Next, it's important to remember that you cannot change a toxic person. It's a common misconception that with enough patience, love, or understanding, you can somehow transform them. Unfortunately, this is rarely the case. Instead, focus on what you can control, your reactions, your mindset, and your boundaries. Lastly, let's emphasize the importance of self-care and mental health. Regularly indulge in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Prioritize your mental health by seeking professional help if necessary. Don't let the toxicity around you overshadow the importance of your well-being. Remember, dealing with toxic people is not about winning a war. It's about preserving your peace, protecting your mental health, and nurturing your well-being. You have every right to remove yourself from situations or relationships that drain you emotionally. Remember, it's not about changing them, but protecting yourself. Navigating the world with toxic individuals can be challenging, but not impossible. We've journeyed through the signs of toxicity, learning to identify those who drain our energy and happiness. Traits such as constant negativity, manipulation, and lack of empathy are clear indicators. We've also explored the impact these individuals can have on our lives, from stress and anxiety to a decrease in self-esteem and personal growth. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've looked at strategies to deal with toxic people, setting boundaries, limiting interactions, and seeking support when necessary. The key takeaway here is that self-care is paramount. Your mental health is important and you deserve to prioritize it. In the face of toxicity, remember to stay resilient, keep your positivity, and most importantly, take care of your mental health. Because at the end of the day, you have the power to control how others affect you. Remember, you have the power to control how others affect you. Stay strong, stay positive, and take care of your mental health.